Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am Zmore, the dad in DPS, and as you may have guessed when you clicked on the title of today's video, we're in for another episode of The Good, the Scrap, and the Script. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with this series, it is basically where I receive weapons from the purveyor on a weekly basis for my other video series, and then I decide to test them out. Now, today's weapon is one that I'm actually quite eager to test out. I know it's going to be fairly decent, but how good we'll need to see. But before we get into that, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more content from me in the future. And I cannot thank everybody enough for the support I've received in the past couple of months. It has been absolutely fantastic, and I love seeing all the comments down below. I definitely love to hear the suggestions from you guys, so please keep with it, and let's get on with the video. But yeah, today's weapon is what I like to call an explosive overdose. So, if you watch my latest episode of Script My Pants, you will have seen this weapon. It is a Junkies bullets explode for area damage, 90% reduced weight handmade rifle. Now, in general, handmade rifles are absolutely fantastic, and with explosive on there, yeah, it's definitely been boosted. I had a older explosive handmade rifle back in the day, and it just broke too quickly because of the way explosive damage was calculated. But since that has been changed, it has made this weapon significantly more viable, in my opinion, with the explosive effect at least. Now, on here I have upgraded it with the prime automatic receiver. We've got the stabilized long barrel and stock, drum magazine for more ammo, reflex sight because I hate using scopes on weapons like this, and we've got a suppressor. Now, I don't really have a sneak build made, so I can't really get the full effort out of sneaking with this weapon. But at the same time, I can at least make a try of it and see how well I do. But in general, this weapon is going to do a lot of damage, and when the new thing comes in on the 27th, where you can change your spec in the special stats so easily, yeah, I'm going to be spending all month basically grinding perk cards because of this. So yeah, this is going to be interesting, and I definitely like handmade rifles. I also have the Screaming Eagle wood paint, and that's why it looks weird if you don't know that, or can't read on the screen, one or the other. So, first impressions of this weapon. Well, in general, I really do like handmade rifles. They're quite consistent in terms of damage, they have great fire rate, and in terms of the automatic rifles that you can get in the game, they're one of the better ones. Obviously, things like the Fixer and whatnot outclass a lot of items in game for obvious reasons, especially due to if you're running a sneak build. But the handmade rifle is something that shouldn't be slept on because there is a potential alternative better out there. As you're seeing, this is taking down these ghouls with absolutely no effort. One shot to the head is more than enough to take them out. The accuracy on it is great, and with the perks I'm running, if line of sight isn't broken, I'm able to like bounce between killing these guys quite easily. So it's definitely a gun that I think is very, very good. I don't think I have a gun that is capable of, well, I don't think I've got a gun. I don't think I've had guns that were capable of this amount of damage for a long while, except for the last video that I had with my railway rifle, and it's refreshing to be able to do this. It definitely is, and I'm looking forward to potentially making a sneak build out of this with the legendary, the machine that allows you to change your special stats in the next month. So I'm going to be grinding a lot of perk cards in order to get to that point. And there, even the big boss man of that bit is completely annihilated and easily dealt with. It's a very powerful gun. I can't stress it enough, so I'm looking forward to see how it does against the bigger, slightly more dangerous enemies of Appalachia. But nothing we can do but try. But before we get into that, let's look at the perk loadout. Now, if you watched the last video, it's fairly similar to what was going on there. We've got our usual kind of faff for ammo and damage mitigation. We've got Master Commando, Ground Pounder for that extra reload speed, the hipfire accuracy, and Tank Killer for the 30% armor penetration and the 9% stagger chance. Commando for another 10% damage, and Concentrated Fire for the increasing damage per shot and accuracy per shot whenever using VATS. Then Endurance, more of the same. As I said last time, I would be using a lot of these stuff and swapping it around and whatnot, but yeah, not much I can do about that. In the Intelligence tree, I have Demolition Expert. I really need to unlock rank 5 in this. As I said, I'm starting to collect perk cards now instead of certain things, because I've got a more concrete chance of having multiple builds now. I just need to wait a month essentially, and then we've got Scrapper on there for no reason. Evasive for some more damage mitigation, Gun Fu so that I swap between targets when I'm using VATS, and then can get up to 30% extra damage on the next 3 targets. Adrenaline for that extra max 60% after 6 kills of enemies for 30 seconds, and then we've got Grim Reaper Sprint to basically restore my VATS points every time I get a kill in VATS. So there's a chance that I could infinitely just spam shots, essentially. So yeah, definitely interesting. Serendipity to avoid damage, Ricochet to deflect damage back, Class Freak for my mutations, and Star's Genes for the exact same thing. So yeah, pretty much the same, roughly. I think it's the exact same build as last time, but that's the kind of idea. There is going to be changes to it for this particular gun. For example, I would be definitely reducing endurance, definitely reducing strength, and adding more into perception and whatnot, just to get certain perks that I would think would better benefit the build. I definitely think I'm going to max out agility, perception, probably get a bit more in charisma, intelligence as well, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm going to be able to play around with it, so I definitely will play around with it. So, because, well, why the hell are you here? Go away, I'm recording. Stupid prize bot. Anyway, as with any video of this kind, I am basically going to test out on the Super Mutant Behemoth. The biggest problem I've got here is that these types of weapons don't particularly do amazing against these types of enemies because explosive damage the way it is. So, what you have to do is sort of aim at their feet. What the utter shit is going on with this guy? What the hell? Yeah, I'm keeping this in because it's funny. So yeah, as you can see, I'm doing decent damage. The biggest problem lies in the fact that I'm not doing the damage I would be doing against any other. What is going on with this guy? This is so glitchy and buggy. It's like, yeah, it's not doing the damage that it would do in normal circumstances. These types of enemies, because they're so tall and so big, explosive weapons aren't particularly great on them. But even then, I'm taking them out fairly quickly. It's taking a lot of ammo though, and with this particular variant of the gun, I don't want to be spending a lot of ammo on enemies like this. So typically, this isn't the weapon I'd be using on a guy like him. I would definitely opt for something slightly different. So it's time to move on to the Queen and her little cronies. Now normally I tend to skip the part where I spend a little while killing all of her little friends, but this time I think I've got a weapon that is fully capable of mincing them. As you can see, Mirelurks King completely killed with absolutely no effort. So yeah, it's definitely a weapon that is very good against the weaker mobs. Against the bigger, badder mobs, maybe not your best choice. There is definitely weapons that I would recommend against them. Heavy weapons typically, but we'll at least get to see how well it does against the queen. I'm gonna get her up and then run like hell, because she's gonna kick my ass otherwise. Where the hell are you, Queenie? Oh, there she is. I hate when she does that. She just decides not to wake up. Let's see, we'll go for the legs. So that's actually doing a lot more damage than I thought was going to do. Yeah. This slaps the queen into next week. Oh, hello. Slightly impressed. It didn't do as much against the big fella, which, yeah, I'm just very, very impressed by that result. And for some reason I just completed Coppa Squat. I love that it does that for the entire server, actually. It's very useful. Anywho, let's move on. So, how well does this weapon do at daily ops? Well, as you might have guessed, the past couple of days has been a bit trying, because the types of daily ops we have been getting have been melee, stealth, and I've been using VATS-based weapons and both range weapons. So it's been a bit testing. You can't see the full extent of how well these weapons would do in the... Well, even if it was stealth today, again, this weapon would do significantly better because of the way it is. But I'm not able to give the full out of any of the weapons, is the problem. I kind of just have to deal with it. But at the same time, I'm not doing bad. I'm not doing bad at all. There's good damage, and I'm able to then close in and take them out. On top of that, the ammo regeneration in terms of what I'm actually getting is pretty damn good. So I don't need to worry about essentially ammo for this gun. And since I'm using a prime receiver, if I wasn't getting the ammo any other way, it'd be rather expensive. I just need to wail on these guys a little bit, and I'm getting more than my ammo back per kill, usually. Don't get me wrong, I can get somebody dropping 4 ammo, and unless I'm getting 4 shots into them, it's a loss, but overall, especially with a teammate, I'm definitely gaining more. As you can see, I started off, I think I had like 400 ammo when I came in, I could be wrong, but I'm back up to 500 odd. And it's a slow grind. It's not going to be quick in this scenario because of the type of enemies I'm up against, and in normal circumstances I would just whip through everything and anything with the God, I forget the name of it, gun fu. But we are forced to do what we're forced to do, and it is the best I could get out of this situation. I could have waited another day to record it, but there was no guarantee I was going to get the effect I want. I tend to find I get unlucky with those things. So yeah, the gun is very, very solid, especially in daily ops, but we'll need to take a look at the big boss and see how well it does against him before we can say definitively whether it's fantastic in this or just good for killing grunts. Alrighty, so the big boy's coming in now, and we get to see how well this does against him in general. So obviously, oh Jesus, he's going to be able to stun me because of the type of weapon he's got. But as you can see, we're doing quite a decent amount of damage, taking him down fairly quickly. And then, yeah, just a melee kill to go. So yeah, definitely a good weapon for using it in this mode. And as you can see, I'm ending with pretty much 800 ammo, so I nearly doubled. I believe I entered with 400, I could be wrong, but I'm ending with 800 ammo, so definitely a gain and definitely a profit. So yeah, I love it. So that was today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe as usual. Now, I was today years old when I learned that you can hold down the crit button for VATS and it'll just spam crits as they go. I feel like an absolute idiot. I've been using it wrong for so long. But anyway, we'll catch you all next time in the wasteland.